Like the stories oftentimes, particularly when they're difficult, it's like we can hear these words like PTSD or harassed, and it can just totally overwhelm us because we get entangled in the story. But we can truly observe other people in their state as they are, accepting fully, when we also just, oh, that's their inner state. That's where they are. That's the effortlessness, and that's the doing without doing, is that our pure presence in coherence can begin to transform the other person.
Don't take it, don't. Don't take it, don't. Don't take it, don't. Don't take it, don't.
So we'll just welcome ourselves back into our bodies, back into this field that we've cultivated, as Cynthia pointed out. Yeah, and just settle back.
Okay, before we go into this experiential portion, which is really the fun part, right, is when we go from the conceptual to the experiential. That's where it really happens. So I just want to give a shout out to my teachers. So Master Ming Tonggu, my first Qigong teacher, Master Wei Qifeng, same lineage, same grandmaster, totally different ends of the rainbow spectrum. So they've kind of been a very beautiful complement and synergy for me. And then I also want to just shout out Vivian, who is she's also in the same lineage as me, and she's local here to Bolinas. It's wonderful to have her. She's been a fellow traveler and really a teacher to me as well. And I also want to give a shout out to my sister, Serena Bian, who is also a Qigong teacher. Funnily enough, it's like you try with your siblings like to get as far, away. And then we both, she's a teacher, and I'm a doctor, and we both ended up in Qigong through very different pathways. And so I had the pleasure of observing her teach to these kids in school recently, and it was really, really moving. Yeah, so this is just all information and love and everything that's just, kind of shared freely. All right, so I'm hoping we can get through the golden triad. But again, this is flow, so we're not going to attach to outcome, okay? We will get through whatever we get through. But this is really kind of the crux. And as I mentioned earlier, empty mind, open heart, body fully inhabited. So for the first part, and as I mentioned earlier, modify as you need to at any point in the practices, okay? So for the first one, empty the mind. I'm going to start with an image. This is also in my book. Okay, see, you guys did it just right because your minds are not empty. What do you see? What do you see? What do you see?
I see a dog running.
Yeah?
You're going to tell me no.
What do you feel when you see this?
Happy.
Happy, yeah. All right. Well, one of this was inspired by Gestalt psychology, okay, where you're looking at a bunch of black dots on a white background, right? So what's so fascinating is that people uniformly see the same thing and have very similar reactions in terms of emotions. And yet, that is still the thinking mind, right? That's the thinking mind. So what the thinking mind does is again, through our lifetimes, we've been conditioned to this. We define one thing as background, we define one thing as foreground. And then we begin to create stories. That happened as soon as I held up, aww, right? So it takes less than a second. And so one of the first things we do is to shift from thinking, analyzing, judging, creating a story, to emptying the mind, to observing. So can you observe this purely as dots on a white background? Right? And sometimes for people, it will help to close your eyes, reopen them, close your eyes, reopen them. Toggling like this is really helpful. When you open them, just gazing, softly as you guys are doing, but as if you're an alien and you're visiting this strange place for the first time, and you're seeing this image for the first time. And it might feel really, kind of small or inconsequential, like, why are we doing this? When we shift from thinking, we go into observing with curiosity, without labels, without stories, our brain is already beginning to come into flow. All right? So this is actually what can happen a lot with our health challenges, is we immediately hear something, we immediately feel something, we already have a whole story, and we know the prognosis. And God forbid you get online and start researching it, right? So we get very fixed with what we think our path is going to be. And then there are emotions that come with that. So all of these things can very quickly, like in a split second, block our flow. Okay? So one thing that I do in the book that we can't do here is that another part of observing, and Qigong observing, is we also zoom in, right? I was talking about, like, okay, my shoulder. No, we're going to go straight to the place of symptoms, but we zoom in. And so when you zoom in, you would actually see that there are also white dots in here, right? So there are things that we don't even see. And then another thing is we zoom out. So this whiteness, right, going back to the emptiness, the emptiness, the white, the background, what we call the background, is actually a really rich, potent foreground. It's teeming with subtle energy, vitality. It's teeming with information. It's teeming with infinite potential, infinite possibilities. So, like, you have that diagnosis, empty the mind, open to infinite possibilities, right? So that's just a really fun exercise to begin to empty the mind and just to observe our patterns. And the thinking mind is wonderful. I mean, we have to be able to sift through so much information. And yet, when we really come back to ourselves, how can we use the information freely, right? To bring back that word, freely, without attachments. How can we observe with much more completeness and without attachments, whether it's to an image or whether it's to our health, whether it's to a relationship? We're going to do you guys have writing, your journals and pens? So you can get them ready, but we'll keep them to the side. But I'm going to share with you what the prompt is. But before we start writing, we're going to actually do a little practice to empty the mind. And so all of these videos that we're going to watch, they're 4 to 5 minutes long. They're very short. They also accompany the book. And they were also created by my friend Stefania, who was this illustrator. So we just had a lot of fun collaborating, and she's been able to enhance the experience for people. Now, if you have difficulty seeing, or if you prefer to do the practice with your eyes closed, you can do that as well. So you can also obviously open and close, but there's visual enhancements that can help sort of the perception of subtle energy within yourself and around you. Okay? Before we go into this practice of emptying the mind, the prompt is to come into to kind of review your past and come into a pivotal moment, either one of tremendous joy or tremendous challenge. Okay? So I already see people raising their eye, thinking. So what we're going to do is actually relax the thinking, but just holding that prompt lightly, or I would say, observing the prompt. All right? And then we're going to do this practice, and then we're going to come back, and then I have some instructions on how we're going to write. Okay?
Take the effortless healing sitting posture, relaxed but activated. Crown lifted toward the sky. Your feet are flat and connected to the earth below. Slowly rotate your shoulders backward a few times, dropping them and then resting your hands in your lap. Feel your body as the energy connector and conductor between the sky above and the earth below. Take several slow, deep breaths into the dantian in your core, inhaling to the count of 5 and exhaling to the count of 5, slowly, methodically. And as you do, know that you are breathing in air and chi. Feel your whole body becoming pure energy, radiating, flowing, and vibrating. As you continue to take some breaths, relax. Relax. And relax some more. In this harmonized state, with your consciousness centered in the dantian, initiate a slow rotation from your lumbar spine in a clockwise direction. The crown of your head remains centered while your lower body rotates. Breathe deeply into your energy spine. Observe how your consciousness stays centered amid the movement. Feel what that feels like, the simultaneous stillness and movement. Gently reverse the direction of your rotations, observing any subtle shifts with that simple change. Stay there for a while. Next, reverse the direction again. With your consciousness still centered in the dantian, use your peripheral awareness to observe your chi spine and how it's creating ripples of harmony into the chi universe all around you and also within you. These ripples can harmonize your environment, transforming it from incoherent to coherent patterns. Now slow down the movements. Decrease the diameter of your rotations and surrender to the flow. See if you can allow your consciousness to make the movements with little to no effort at all from your body. Relax. And relax some more. When you're ready, allow your consciousness to guide the reversal of the rotation again. Stay there for a while. No effort. You're a chi body in a chi universe, and yet your feet are fully grounded. Now slowly come to a stop and place your palms over the navel. As you rest there for a while, see if you can still sense the spiral flow of energy around and within you. Open your eyes and gaze at your surroundings from the center of your head through the inner observer. Stay connected to the dantian as you slowly walk around the room, observing the empty spaces around you, knowing they are teeming with energy fields, teeming with the energy of life.
Okay, so from this place, I invite you to observe. What's the first thing that comes up when you pose that question again? A pivotal moment. And see if you can go with that. Right? See if you can go with that with the writing. So we're going to do 5 minutes of a timed automatic writing. This is where you write continuously and without stopping, without editing, without crossing out. So this really invites flow rather than perfection, flow rather than thinking. And again, a loose structure is 3 paragraphs. Again, see what comes to you, but maybe 3 paragraphs. And anything else? Oh, and if your mind is a blank, you can just write that. My mind is a blank, or I have no idea what I'm going to write. You just keep writing, okay? And then just embrace everything that comes.
Okay, that was time.
Pause. You can stop mid-sentence. And just observing, you can close your eyes too, it's helpful. I'm just observing any sensations. No more writing. That's, of course, my older sister. My older sister's trying to write. Closing your eyes, observing any sensations or thoughts or emotions that are arising. If nothing's arising, observing that as well. Just welcoming it all. All right, now I invite you to stay in this more open, mind empty, intuitive place that we've been cultivating. And look at your writing. If you've done it in paragraphs, you can choose it by paragraphs. If it's all one continuous, just looking at it in one. But I invite you to, we're only going to do this this is only going to be 1 minute. So this is going to be very intuitive. You're going to reduce this down to 3 sentences. Okay? 3 sentences. It doesn't have to be the specific sentences that you wrote. It can be summary sentences, but glancing over it, 3 sentences. The thing about flow is that there's no grading. There's no right or wrong. Just keep moving. Okay, so next step is to take a look at your 3 sentences and reduce it down to 3 words. It may be part of what you've written. It may be something different. 3 words. And this is for 30 seconds. So now, if you're in the room, I invite you to double or triple up, ideally triple up. I invite you to share your 3 words with each other. Relax any desire to explain. If you're listening, you're receiving, relax any questions and really see if you can drop into the place of observation. Really observing each other at your essence. Just the 3 words. It ought to be very quiet in this room. All right, let's return back to the room. So I'm just inviting us to observe that it's challenging, where we're conditioned to relate to each other through stories. And stories are amazing. So this is not discounting the story. It's how can we let go of our stories and then let go of other people's stories, and also then come back to them in a more playful way, in a way that creates a lot more space for flow. Yeah. So that pause that we were talking about is really important, right? Like, we usually don't pause. Usually before someone finishes something, we already know what we're going to say. So pausing is, it sounds so like that's not important. I just want to get on to the next thing. And it's the most important first step. Flow is very much opening to surprise. Mm-hmm. It's opening up to what actually really wants to come through versus what we think. And that's really powerful. I mean, one of the things that and this actually will segue into the next practice, is when we're reduced down to like 3 words as opposed to the story, we can observe more. We can respond more, right? Like the stories oftentimes, particularly when they're difficult, it's like we can hear these words like PTSD or harassed, and it can just totally overwhelm us because we get entangled in the story. But we can truly observe other people in their state as they are, accepting fully, when we also just, oh, that's their inner state. That's where they are, as opposed to, again, trying to. And so that's the effortlessness, and that's the doing without doing, is that our pure presence in coherence can begin to transform the other person. So it's a very different way of relating, but the more we do it, the more we actually see of that person. So it's a powerful place to be. So we're going to go into the next one, open the heart, and we will do a 5-minute video, and then we're going to go into a very short writing practice. This one is done standing. You can also modify it from a seated position.
Take the effortless healing standing posture. Relaxed but activated. Your crown is gently lifted toward the sky, and your legs and feet are shoulder width apart. Your knees are straight but not locked. Feet are flat and connected to the earth below. Your arms are to the sides with a slight gap, as if a small chi ball sits in your armpits. Feel your body as the energy connector and conductor between the sky above and the earth below. Take several slow, deep breaths into the dantian in the middle of your abdomen, inhaling to the count of 5 and exhaling to the count of 5, breathing in air and chi. Do this a few times until you feel more centered and relaxed. Feel your whole body becoming pure energy, radiating, flowing, vibrating. Relax. Relax, and relax some more. In this harmonized state, slowly bend down and extend your arms diagonally toward the floor, as if you're scooping up chi from the earth. Slowly rise to a standing position, bringing the chi you scooped up toward the sky. Hold your arms and hands above your head for a momentary pause, almost imperceptible, as you gather chi and pour it down through the crown of your head. Continue to slowly move your hands downward in front of your face, your neck, your chest, and your abdomen, feeling the chi streaming through you like a waterfall of light. When your hands reach your thighs, bend down and scoop chi from the earth again, repeating the cycle of lifting chi up and pouring it down. Coordinate it with your breath, So you're inhaling as you scoop up from the earth and lift it up toward the sky, and exhaling as you pour the chi down from head to body. So moving slowly and methodically, following the pace of your breath, inhaling as you scoop up from the earth, lifting it up toward the sky, and exhaling as you pour the chi down from head to body. As you continue to practice, allow your body, your mind, your heart to open more and more, releasing whatever doesn't serve your highest purpose back into the flow of life, back into the universe, and drawing in fresh chi like a waterfall through your body. Surrendering, releasing, and welcoming and drawing in an open state. Experience that freshness. Experience the surrender. Practice for a few more rounds of lifting chi up and pouring chi down. Now standing still, feel your mind and body refreshed. Place your palms over the navel and rest there for a while.
Now, before we take our seats, I invite us to just stay where we are, standing, and just to do one more chi waterfall, keeping your eyes closed, keeping your awareness centered in your dantian, in your abdomen, but holding a soft peripheral awareness of all of us here and online, practicing together like one organism, doing chi waterfall together. All right? Let's bend down and scoop chi up. Again, staying centered in yourself, but being aware of a larger collective body supported by an infinite universe. And then just placing the hands over the dantian, over the navel. This is what it feels like to allow the collective heart, the collective mind, the collective body to support us and for us to support the collective. Okay, it's a very embodied experience. All right, just gently take your seats. And just observing your body. Right, where's your primary awareness? So even as you listen to me, primary awareness in the flow state is actually centered in yourself. Right, so you can close your eyes, it's easier to do it that way. Listening from deep within your center, so that you're also experiencing yourself listening. If you open your eyes and you're observing me, can you stay in that centered place? Can you experience yourself observing? You as the observer, observing. So, opening the heart. in this book, I have a couple of little interludes where I share some experiences that I just kind of lived into myself. And one of them is really simple word substitutions that could really open up places of resistance or load. I've got 10 of them, and we're just going to work with one of them. All right, one of them has a lot to do with the heart, so emotions. Okay, so this is a big one to reduce the internal load that we carry and to open up to flow. Replace hold with behold, as in to observe. How often have you felt this is too much to hold? When the mind thinks hold, the body receives it as an instruction and then tries to do so. It could be grief, it could be the complexity of a situation, or the space, right? We're going to hold the space. It could be yours, someone else's, or the whole world's. So this crucial shift releases the load on your mind, heart, and body, bringing you into a deeper state of observation and compassion, more energy flow. It also releases any superhero complex you and I may have to save the world, allowing you and I to be more fully present to respond to whatever is at hand. So an example that I give is, I hold your pain and grief in my heart becomes, I behold your pain and grief from my heart. Okay? And actually just the other day, I was sharing with Serena, we have these magnificent magnolia trees, 3 of them in our front yard, and they were in full bloom. And this neighbor was walking by, and she said, oh my God, they're so beautiful. I can't hold it. Mm-hmm. And I was just thinking to myself, right, why do we need to hold that? Can we just behold it? So again, with the beholding, we also let go of attachments to things that are, quote, good, like the beauty of a magnolia, or the things that are challenging, like grief. Okay, so I just invite you to take 2 minutes to, reflect on something that you feel like you're holding for yourself, for someone else, for the world, or a phrase that you use a lot with the word hold in it. And can you change that into behold? Now, would anyone like to share either what you wrote or what is arising for you?
I made a shift from seeing someone, holding someone responsible. If I say, I behold her responsible, then I'm suddenly no longer as affected by it. It just feels free.
Thank you.
I had a similar experience of holding someone else's pain, and grief in my chest just got all fluttery and tight. And then beholding, it was like still loving and caring, but a healthy separation. It was beautiful. Very somatic.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Holding expectations for myself, that has like a singular story of I hold this expectation and it's meant to happen in the world. And then when I behold, the stories seem to separate out a bit more, and I can actually feel their connection to other people. It feels less like it's mine. It's like these are expectations that have appeared in my psyche for myself. So it lets me have more of a free path, I think. Mm-hmm.
Wow, beautiful. All of these are great. These are things I never thought of either. How about one more?
Sure. Mine was around, I feel like I've been working through a very fierce attachment to wanting to have and hold different life experiences, and just kind of pre-grieving the ability to not have and hold on to a bunch of these different dreams that I wanted. And even hearing music and just wanting to hold that, right? Or like the tree. And so, yeah, I love that subtle shift to behold, because I wrote, then there's no need to hold on to and to have and to own these things in order to love them. And that I feel like is a very, very helpful reorientation.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you all. So we are at time. So we will let go of and behold the inhabiting our body part. But as you can see from these methods, it's fully integrated. We might call one kind of, inhabiting the body, but it's fully inhabiting the body, the ones that we've already done. So I want to just also invite us to relax the cling to try to finish. Do I have time to finish, just do a short reading to close it off?
Yes.
I feel like it's really important to elucidate this, particularly in these times. Okay, so this section, this is about the collective, right? So again, coherence being a collective response as well, and a place of strength. To do or not to do. As I write to you, wars are escalating around the world. People are starving. Families are being torn apart. Artificial intelligence is exploding. Floods are happening in one place, drought in another, and heat waves elsewhere. Like me, you may feel an unmatched urgency to do something. But urgency can cloud our inner states, which matter more than ever. And it does matter, doesn't matter, you might wonder, if we do anything at all. Perhaps the greatest misunderstanding about effortless healing remains around the concept of doing but not doing. Even seasoned practitioners can fall into the confusion of passivity versus no resistance. This is why learning the laws of energy in concept and embodied is vital. We know that coherence begets coherence, and incoherence begets itself too. When we're not in coherence, then even good intentions can become incoherent and express as stern righteousness or moral superiority, arising from unresolved subcurrents, perhaps fear, worry, and anger. This can also add incoherent energy into the collective field, making it harder for others to respond from a place of coherence. So, can we pause long enough to harmonize, not to suppress these emotions? Can we trust that a coherent mind allows us to make wiser decisions from a greater awareness and to see new possibilities? The only way we can bring harmony to the world is to be harmony and then do from that state. In our doingness, we have a simple choice about our beingness. Do we move through it in flow or not flow? It's up to each of us, starting with the journey that begins beneath your feet. Something is already happening there, something vital that could change your whole journey ahead. Once you're more stable in yourself, you can start moving into your immediate community. How might your next doctor's visit be transformed by coherence, with your own transformation being primary, and a possible bonus transpiring in your doctor? How might family decisions or world decisions be made more effectively or altogether differently? How might you simplify your to-do list just for today? You can gradually test and train yourself in bigger arenas, remembering that the quality and stability of your inner state is primary, not discounting the invisible network of others radiating their light to support yours. As a prominent activist has written, "These times are urgent. Let us slow down." And then this last paragraph is, I'm actually going through each of the 7 steps, but in a collective way, okay? So to clarify that common misunderstanding, effortless healing isn't idleness, it's peak activism. Because when you pause into your own stillness, you can also pause into a collective stillness that holds you. When you soften your intentions, you can soften them into the collective good, which also benefits you. When you empty the mind, your emptiness can merge with the big empty universe, so you observe from a bigger vantage point. When you open the heart, you can harmonize with the collective heart to reflect universal compassion. And when you inhabit your body, you can inhabit the larger body of life as a single interconnected reality to heal any sense of separation between you and others, or you and the natural world, the sense of separation at the root of so much pain and violence today. All by you choosing, personally, harmony over chaotic energy. So,
Cynthia Li, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for joining. Thank you, Serena.
Don't take it, don't. 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 Don't take it, don't.
The river is a healer. The river is a sage. The river knows no end, and the river feels no